Welcome back to the Fourth Quarter Faith podcast where football meets conviction. I am Jake Alagna here with my co-host Jesse Shalalo. Before we start, hit that like and subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when all of our videos drop. Comment faith down in the comment section once you are subscribed so that we know and we can show you some love. And as always, before we start, Jesus loves you. How are you doing, Jesse? You ready for today's video?
We have been waiting and waiting months, not months, weeks to do this recording because we've been teasing it. We've been talking about it for multiple weeks. This is our AFC North Division Previews episode, which we are very excited to talk about and ready to lock in and expect a bunch of yelling, expect a bunch of arguing, expect a bunch of glazing our teams, which is what we do. So be ready for that. But other than that, I mean, shoot, Spider-Man came out this past weekend. New episode of Ted Lasso just dropped today. I am great right now. I cannot complain.
I did see it too, and it's a
So
great
good.
movie.
So good.
Great movie.
And also, Hall of Fame
I
games
recommend
tomorrow.
it.
So we get some football, which is also exciting.
I know.
So
finally,
we're really
so
this is a
excited.
great week. This is a great week for me. I'm so ecstatic about what's going on. But
It's
yeah,
Carson Beck versus Kenny Pickett.
Ugh. That'll be something. That'll be something.
I think Carson Beck's gonna
Maybe
play.
something.
I think he's gonna play well. I think he's gonna be the starter.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna outplay Brissett. And what do they have to lose? Why start? Just start Carson Beck. He's like 25 years old.
I don't think it's a case of why risk it. I don't know. I don't think they were ever going to put out Jacoby Brissett, just like the Panthers were never really going to put out Bryce Young. I think it was always going to be those guys that were going to be playing that game because let's be honest, a Hall of Fame game in the grand scheme of things, it's just a preseason game. It's just a couple, like a week or two ahead. So it's like it's not really anything like to put your head on and be like, oh my gosh, this is such an important game. It's not. The only cool thing about it is that we get to see the people that were gonna be in the Hall of Fame. That's about it. The game itself, like it'll be great to watch some football again, but like in the grand scheme of things, it's not like it's gonna mean much. I think if you're a Cardinals or a Panthers fan, I think you'll just get to see your rookies or your developmental players play and see if they've developed enough where if they were to go and see the field in a regular season game, you would feel more confident about that. Like I think Carson Beck getting some snaps here will be important for the future of the Cardinals, especially for them. And then for the Panthers, I mean, I'm not going to say Kenny Pickett's going to be the one because I think Bryce Young's taking that role. But I mean, there's plenty of other guys on the roster that will, seeing these snaps, will give them the confidence to go into a regular season game and be able to produce. So just take that. It's important, but it's not like the game's going to count in the matter of wins and losses because none of these games really matter.
It's an important game for the guys that are going to be fighting for a roster spot or
that I agree.
That want to, like, if it's Carson Beck, then he wants to be the starting quarterback for the Cardinals this year. So he needs to go out there and play well, even if it's against second, third stringers, like rookies, undrafted guys. It's still like these guys are still good enough to make it onto an NFL training camp roster. So, and all these guys are good at football. Like, are they good enough to make a roster? Maybe not. But they're still good enough to make it there. But I'm just ready for football. I'm craving football. Still in baseball mode too, but still got 49 games if you count today left in the regular season. Hopefully my birds can make the postseason. If not, it is what it is. Our GM's a moron, so I don't know. I don't even know. They traded away the face of the rebuild and franchise basically, but that's fine. It doesn't
Yeah,
hurt
it's fine.
fans at
It's
all.
fine. Who cares? Yeah, who cares about the fans anyway?
Yeah,
Um,
he doesn't.
obviously. Anyway, moving aside from all that, let's get into the news of the day. First thing we got going on, a lot of training camp buzz. Training camp is still going on, so we have a lot of good news bits. Mostly gonna stick with Steelers Ravens today, just for the fact that we're getting into our AFC North Division preview, so you can get a little more insight on what's going on in Pittsburgh and in Baltimore. So, Jake, did your team drop their unofficial depth chart yet, or no?
Uh,
Are you not entirely
I
sure?
don't know.
Okay. So the Steelers released their
Is it
initial.
on like their account?
I'm on their the Steelers app right now.
Oh, so it's on like it's just what they listed it on there as.
Pretty much, I think it is. It's from the
I
Steelers,
could
so I'm
check
assuming
it.
it's
I haven't looked
it's
at it,
from
but
their it's from their building, so it wouldn't surprise me. But um,
let's
biggest
see.
thing for me, and then I'll get to like the other stuff at training camp. The lineman starters is interesting, not in a bad way, but in an interesting way. So from left to right,
Oh,
it's
yes,
Troy
they have.
Fatanu, Mason McCormick, Zach Frazier, Spencer Anderson, and Dylan Cook. So that means Broderick Jones is the second string, and Max Ihinachor is the second string as well. So it's initial, so it's not like this is like set in stone or anything like that. But I think it's interesting that Dylan Cook is getting the starting role. Now, obviously, Dylan Cook did what he had to do when Broderick Jones was out. He didn't play bad. He didn't play as well as people had hoped. So there's that to go for him. But I think the Jennings dunking and Broderick Jones doesn't surprise me. I think Jennings Dunkers, I think he's going to have some time to play out there. I just don't know what capacity. And Broderick Jones coming off of an injury, it's going to be very hard for him to um, acclimate back to that. But I guess I think our rookie, our first round pick, and being the second string is interesting. Maybe they just don't feel confident yet. But like I said, this is just the initial depth chart. I'm not going to take this as like the Bible where it's like whatever it says goes. So, another thing, the QB positions, A-Rod is 1, Mason Rudolph's number 2, Will Howard's number 3, and Drew Allard's number 4. I think this was what I expected it to be. I think this is how it's going to be going into the regular season. Honestly, I think could Will Howard potentially move up to the QB2 spot? Maybe. I'm not going to put that much on him just yet, but I think it kind of makes sense just because he has a year on Drew Allard, and also I don't think they put him in that position yet. Um, Also, the wide receivers. So as Metcalf is going to be the wide receiver 1, Pittman's the 2, and then at 3 is Roman Wilson. Roman Wilson has been surprising people a lot in training camp, and has been doing really well. And a lot of people are saying he's like gotten to another gear. So they're really, really excited to see what he is gonna do on this roster. And I'm excited to see what he does. I mean, if we're gonna get a solid to above average Roman Wilson, I'm okay with that. I think that will add a lot of depth to the wide receiver room that we need. Um, Interested to see how Jeremy Bernard from Alabama is in all this, and how his role is going to be added as well. And then the running backs, Jalen Warren, Rico Dowdle, RB1 and 2. No really further conversation about that. Caleb Johnson's the 3, and then the other guys follow in as suit. Defensively, everyone I expected to start is starting. I think who was the one that I was interested in? I'm intrigued to see So the linebackers is Patrick Queen, Peyton Wilson, and Highsmith and TJ. So those are the guys that'll be the linebackers. Which nothing against Cole Holcomb. I think it makes sense just because Peyton Wilson's younger, and also he really showed out this past year. So I'm excited to see what he'll do with a starting role rather than just being in different sets and things like that. And then also getting Rayshon. We got Rayshon Jenkins recently. I think he's from the Packers. So I'm excited to see what he will add to the depth of safeties as well with
Is he?
Jaquan Brisker and Deshaun Elliott. But
They released Savage.
yeah, we released Darnell Savage a couple
What's
days
his
ago.
name?
So
What's his name?
who?
Rayshon Jenkins.
Yeah, Rayshon Jenkins. Right now on the depth chart, he's safety 4. So I don't know if that's, like I said, with all of this is the preliminary depth chart. So it's
See
not like it's set in
where he
stone,
came
but I'm
from.
interested to see why he's that low in there. But
He
other
was
than that,
on.
sorry,
He
go
was
ahead.
on the Browns last year.
Oh, why did I say he was?
That was
That
Savage
was
used to be on
Savage
the
is from the
Packers
Packers. You're right. Yeah, that makes sense.
because he played for
Um,
the Chargers for 4 years, Jacksonville 3, Seattle 24, and last year he was on Cleveland. He played 17 games.
healthy. We love healthy. We love healthy over here. So
It's
yeah,
32.
the biggest thing is that everybody's kind of excited. The vibes of training camp are high. Everybody's doing really well so far. And yeah, I think it's exciting, and it just makes me excited to watch the football this year and what all of this will add to the team. Also, it's interesting to note that they are potentially saying that Rico Dowdle would be RB1 over Jalen Warren. So that would be interesting if that's the case. But I'm not gonna.
I
That's just
wouldn't disagree with
speculation.
that.
Yeah, I think Dowdle and Warren will most likely split carries. I don't think I'm gonna see one do more than the other. But
No, it's just who's the starter and
yeah,
who's
exactly. So
the backup.
yeah,
It's
but
not like volume, but
yeah, I think they'll
just
both
what
have their
they're
roles in
listed
the
at.
offense. I'm not gonna sit here and say that one will be better than the other, but I think they're both different. Because Rico Dowdle's like a true running back, and not saying that Warren isn't, but like he's will be
He's
better
more
used in
physical.
yeah,
He's like
he's
a
will be
physical downhill, like run your face over
yes, and
type of
also
back.
he's better in the Warren's better in the receiving game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we've seen that plenty of times before. So yeah, and also just a lot of good things. I mean, Jamal Dean's been playing really well. Like it's all like they've seen a lot of good throws from Drew Allard so far. And yeah, oh, and TJ Watt was ranked 41 in the NFL Top 100. I have not checked that in a hot minute since we started talking about it,
I
but
saw
he
Cooper
did get
DeJean was
ranked.
38.
What'd you
That's
say?
the only thing I saw. Cooper DeJean was 38.
I don't hate that.
That's all I saw. I
Yeah,
literally have not looked at it since
I haven't. I haven't since we
61.
last talked about it. I think so, yeah.
That's the last time I saw, like, besides the Cooper DeJean, but I think he deserves it.
Yeah,
I
no,
like
I
that
agree.
spot for him.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it at all. I feel like we're getting good production from that, so that's all good with me. But go ahead, Jake. You give me your Steel or not
I did
Steelers,
find
Ravens stuff.
I did find the unofficial depth chart right
Sick.
now. Obviously, do, wait. Okay, do you want me to like go through it?
You don't have to, just the highlights.
I mean, I won't go for the
What you
obvious
see,
ones
what
then.
you see as interesting.
Okay, what I like, I'll say what I like. What I like
Okay.
is Jacoby Lane as he's technically like he's listed behind Zay because there's like Zay, there's Bateman, there's Walker, like 1, 2, 3. Like it's like down the list.
Mm-hmm.
and then Jacoby Lane second on behind Zay. But I think Jacoby Lane I want Bateman to have a breakout year. I want him to stay healthy.
I
I want
don't.
him to be the Bateman that showed up 2 years ago, that scored 9 touchdowns, had over 700 yards. Like, he doesn't have to be a 1,000-yard receiver. He can be, but he doesn't
Sure.
have to be.
Sure.
If he gets like 700-800 yards, that's a great year. But I think Jacoby Lane could take over if he plays well, and the stuff we're seeing in training camp carries over to the preseason and then regular season. I think he could become the wide receiver 2 in this offense. Not saying that I want Bateman to be like demoted or Walker to be demoted. I don't want anyone to be demoted, but I love Jacoby Lane. I think he's the type of guy that we've been missing in this offense when it comes to like the wide receiver spot, based on like the size, the catch radius, the his hands, his acrobatic catches. Like, I just think that's the type of element that has been missing. So I'm extremely excited to see how he keeps developing and how his chemistry with Lamar keeps developing, because everything I'm seeing is Lamar loves him right now.
Mm.
So I just want that to keep growing.
I'll save my comments
What
for
else?
Rashad Bateman for the division preview because I have a lot to say about that. But we'll move
There's
over.
a lot to say about Bateman.
Yeah, not bad things. Not
Probably
bad. Not all bad things.
okay. Not all
Keep
bad
going.
things. You're probably gonna
Not
say
all
he's
bad
like
things.
trash or something. But another one
I
is
should.
he's not. He just can't stay
I said
healthy
I should.
consistently.
Just
Anyway,
go, man.
the next thing I'm interested in seeing it as it develops is the center competition.
That
I
is
think
interesting.
they signed Ethan Pochich to a 1-year deal, I think that it's his job to lose right now, just because he has the most experience. He was the starting center for Cleveland last year, before he got hurt and missed like most of the year.
Yes.
But I'm just really interested in seeing how the line keeps gelling, especially since they got Dwayne Ledford as their offensive line coach, which you gotta watch some like the way he coaches is like it gets you fired up. It like
Yeah.
makes you want to go play for him. But that in Vega, just Vega keeping developing, and apparently everyone thinks he's already he's already a pros pro. He does everything right. He seems like he's been playing for like years in the NFL. So that's good to hear that he's gelling with everyone. He's playing well so far, even though it's only been like what, like two padded practices, which is really where you can really like, what's the word? Like or I guess like judge and really see how these like defensive linemen, these offensive linemen really play when it comes to the physicality part of the game, and what you're going to get out of them when it comes to like strapping up and getting out there.
I
But
will say the biggest thing with linemen, um, just thinking about like Will Campbell from like this past year, lots of potential, really solid rookie year, all things considered. And then like I think his bad play in the Super Bowl, which we're not going to sugarcoat, it was not really a great play by him, but and he
No, he was
said
bad in
on
the Super Bowl.
he said he was bad. So I'm not gonna say like he didn't say it, but um that's the most discourse I've seen about people talking about like linemen's performances. So especially for Vega and even the center, what's his name again? Um,
Ethan Pocic.
Ethan Pocic, which Ethan has been in the league for a few years, but more for Vega as a
What
rookie.
year is it?
Um, I think
He's been
there's
in the
just a
league.
certain level of
So 20.
when it comes to
Is year 9 for him? No,
yeah,
10.
something like that. Yeah. So when it comes to like your play at lineman, just because you're not as talked about as the wide receivers and the running backs and the quarterbacks and all that, that still doesn't mean that you still don't have value and that you should not be coming to practice with a certain kind of physicality. And I'm not saying that Vega isn't doing that. I'm not saying that Max Enishore isn't doing that. But because you have to if you let go of the mentality that you're gonna go off base of where you got drafted or like how high of a draft pick is. Now Will Campbell's completely different because he was like top 3, where Vega and Yachor were like the bottom half of the first round. But there's still a lot of value you have to that. So don't I think for us as fans, like as much as we want to like be like, oh my gosh, our rookie linemen are not doing great. Like
I
it's
mean,
also their first year in
there's
it's their
gonna be
first year in the
growing
league.
pains.
It's their first time trying to figure all this stuff out. As like you could have a big physical guy at the line, but if he doesn't have like the mental stuff up here, you're kind of screwed. So
Yeah, I
even
mean,
if
you
you
gotta
have all the
have
physical
a
traits, like if you don't have the mental game up there, like all good and like all the mental aspects of being a lineman, like everything's gonna fall apart. And even Will Campbell talked about how like the mental aspect of being a rookie in the Super Bowl is taxing on the brain because there's a
yeah,
lot of
it's
things
probably a
that
lot.
go into factor. So for Vega and Hayacho, I think it's just like you have to take this year, whether how good or bad you do, as like it was your first year and you're just developing and getting better. That's all it is. So like when I
Yeah,
see
I
people
mean
like ragging on Lyman on social media and being like, "Oh, he got drafted too high for where he was," it's like
yeah,
lineman positions are different from the skill positions because the
I
skill
get
positions
it.
will get talked about more. They will get talked about more.
I mean, like, I get that. Like, you get drafted at a certain spot, you're expected to go out there and
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
show that you are worth that high of a draft pick.
Yeah. For sure.
But I do understand that obviously everyone's gonna have growing pains their first year. It's gonna happen. Like Vega's gonna have some plays or a game here or there
Where he
that
didn't do as well as we
he
hoped.
didn't play his best.
Yes.
He could have played a lot better, but you just I mean everyone just keeps learning from their mistakes even in year 10. Like
And as bad as Will
you're
Campbell
gonna
was in the Super Bowl, he's gonna get better. So
yeah, he's
time.
Will Campbell will be perfectly fine.
Oh
He's
yeah.
too talented to not just keep getting better and become an all pro type of left tackle. Like
True.
he's that good of a player.
True.
But
Absolutely.
I
Sorry.
mean,
Keep
he's
going.
also
I
going
had to
against
add that.
one of the best defenses, or if
And
not, I think the best or
one of the better.
second
Yeah.
best
One.
defense in the league.
Yes.
Um, but but yeah,
Sorry
I'm
to
very
interrupt you.
excited for Vega. Very excited. Um, but he does also have the mentality of like, I'm gonna knock your teeth in,
I bet he
which I
does.
love.
Shoot. Being
Um,
Samoan, I hope he does.
another one is Namdi Matabike.
He's
According
back.
or Jesse Minter said in a presser that he just did that, or like a presser after practice, that he loves where Matabiki's at. He's currently not doing drills, but he's there watching. He's out there with everyone. So I think it's just a matter of time where he starts just ramping up and really getting into the drills, and then eventually after once he gets like situated in the individual stuff, then he'll eventually move up to the team stuff or the 7-on-7 or whatever, and then the full team scrimmages practice part of practice. And he's got a neck roll now. And if with him with that neck roll and he has like a blacked out visor, he looks scary. But
not the rolled out neck. Oh man.
But yeah, then I'm to wrap it up. I'm very
Okay.
excited for Trey Hendrickson. Mike Green, I think, is going to have a breakout year in his second year. And then Nate Wiggins becoming that true like cornerback one, always going up against the number ones against whoever we're playing. And really taking on that like leadership role of the cornerback room and be like, hey, just play with the confidence that he always has and taking a bigger role than he did last year. And then Malachi Starks, I think, is also going to have a breakout year. I just think with the defense that Jesse Minter runs, I think guys like Mike Green and Malachi Starks they're going to show why they were drafted as high as they were and that their potential is going to come to fruition, and they're going to play like they can, like their potential showed in college. But yeah, I'm just very excited for football. I need it badly. I need it now. Can it be September
just makes you
now?
so excited. It makes you so excited.
I need September 13th right now.
I wish,
to be
buddy.
tomorrow.
I wish. But anyway, let's move on to our other bits of news from around the league.
Oh, and Zion.
A lot of contracts. Some contracts got extended. Now, some might be controversial, some might not be. That's up to your interpretation. But we'll talk about this one first.
Fucking haters. Sorry.
Anyway, first on business, the Falcons signed Bijan Robinson to a 3-year, $75 million extension with 51 million guaranteed, making him the NFL's highest paid running back at 22.25 million per year.
Makes sense to me. I mean, he's arguably the best overall back in the NFL. Like the dude, I think he is the best running back in the NFL. Like his balance, his receiving ability, his vision, his speed, his strength, his rushing ability. Like he's the most complete back when it comes to every facet of the offense that there is in the NFL. Like you could throw in guys like McCaffrey,
Derrick Henry,
Gibbs. Like I mean guys that are more like they're probably just as good of receiving threat as they are rushing threat.
Devon Achane.
Like Derrick Henry is like he's not the greatest receiving back in the world.
That's growth, guys. That's growth. That's growth. If you haven't heard that.
Well, I never said he was a great receiving back, by the way.
I'm kidding.
That's not his forte. His forte is running dudes over.
Yeah, and he does that very well. Now move on.
But yeah, I just think I think Bijan deserves every penny of this. He's one of the most electric, exciting young players that there is in the NFL. And his production has proven that he's worth this contract. I think he just he surpassed Saquon. I think Saquon was the previous.
Yeah, Saquon was the highest. He was the highest, and now it's Bijan Robinson. I agree with everything Jake said. I think Bijan, it made sense for the Falcons to do this. You keep him in the building for 3 more years. I understand that a lot of people had discourse with how much he is making, just because like you expect, and especially because it's like a 3-year deal, they're kind of like, oh, the Falcons, are they playing it safe for the injury bit? Because the thing with the NFL is that we would hope players like Gibbs and Bijan Robinson would be making the highest amount, like as a Jamar Chase or as a Justin Jefferson. But the fact of the matter is because the running back position is so undervalued and replaceable, it's very hard for franchises to be like, let me give the player this amount of money that he so truly deserves, or be like, let's give him enough, but let's not push the button too far, because if we give him too much and then, God forbid, knock on wood, he gets injured, Brian Robinson Jr. is the starter. It's a whole plethora of things. So like for like that part of the media, I understand why people were kind of mad about it, but at the
Yeah,
same
you're
time, Bijan Robinson needed to get the money. He deserved this money, um, and he's still gonna produce with whatever money he got. So like, it didn't really. At the end of the day, for me, it really doesn't matter. The only thing is that this is only gonna last what, a week, and then Gibbs is gonna get his, and
probably.
then he'll be the highest. So like Bijan, like we love you, brother. We
That's just how
appreciate
it
you, but
works.
Gibbs' contract's gonna be high, and that's just how it is. Will it be higher than this? I don't know.
Probably. I mean,
But
Gibbs is probably going to ask for it and
I
want it,
agree, and I'm saying this to say
and he has
he
every
deserves
right
it.
to do that.
Gibbs deserves it. He does deserve it, and I'm not saying he doesn't. But I think just because, like I said, with the running back market being so undervalued and replaceable, year in and year out, I can see why people were mad. Well, I see why people were mad that the contract wasn't high, but because of the market being so undervalued, I can see why the Falcons only did this amount of money, because they want to make sure they can still put the future in if need be. And if Bijan stays healthy for the next 3 years of the contract, they'll go higher. But until then, he was excited about this. This deal suffice, and I think he'll be back at practice, so things will go really well for the Falcons. Now here's the controversial one, and I've had a lot
Not
of discourse in the past
controversial.
24 hours. Not social media, more like with people that have talked to me about this.
Where?
But anyway, the Ravens signed two-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Zay Flowers to a 4-year, $140 million extension with $108 million guaranteed. He is now the fourth highest wide receiver in the league with an average of 35 per year, which puts him right about the same amount of money as Justin Jefferson. Um, I'm gonna say my piece before Jake says his, because I already know where this is gonna go down, and I'm not gonna make this controversial because we have the AFC North Division Preview literally next, so we're already gonna get heated. So this is like a little taste test. But anyway, I don't hate it, but I don't know if I'd say, I'm not gonna come over here and say wholly overpay, because I think for the Ravens it makes sense. It does indeed make sense. Um, he is one of those he's one of those receivers that the Ravens, once they saw the production he put out, they wanted to keep him in the building as much as possible. Now, to the people out there who say he doesn't deserve the same amount of money as Justin Jefferson, I can see why you say that, because I think when we're in terms of receivers, Jefferson overall is a better receiver than Zay Flowers. But I think at the end of the day, the Ravens, if they had the money to do it, they were going to do it. That's basically what I'm trying to get down to the point and saying. I think there's, to me, golly, this is such a hard conversation to have, because I've had a lot of people telling me that like Zay at, what did somebody tell me? Zay at worst is top 15. I think somebody told me, and I was like, sure, if you want to have that conversation. Um, and so people are just like out here saying holy overpay, and saying that this is a lot of money on a receiver that people don't see as a wide receiver one. I've been vocal in years past saying that in my mind isn't a 1 on another team, but I think on the Ravens it makes sense. But to end it all, so Jake can say his piece and then we'll move on. I'm not mad that the Ravens did this. I think it makes sense. I think they wanted to keep Zay in the building. This is what they had to do. I understand it. It's just the fact that and I think it's more like and this is why I'm talking about with the running back value being, or the running back market being so undervalued, because I would say in terms of positionless, Bijan's better than Zay, but Bijan's making less than Zay. So it's kind of like, and again, this is why I'm saying the market's so undervalued, because wide receivers get paid a heck of amount of money, and running backs get paid a little less. Even tight ends don't make that much money, honestly, in the grand scheme of things. And now tight ends are like built-in receivers at this point, when back in the day they were more blocking, sometimes caught a pass more. Now they're just bona fide receivers. But yeah, for the Ravens, it makes sense. I'm not saying Zay doesn't deserve this money. He's played a measurable amount of time in the league. He has the stats and stuff to back it up, so I'm not saying that at all. But I can see where the discourse is coming from with that. Other players will be making less than him, and those players people will say are better than him. So that's all I'll say on that.
Well, real quick, to go off of what you just said, that's just the market. That's just timing of when guys get paid. That's just how it works. Like, do you think that actually, hold on, I can't think of one off the top of my head.
What?
But like that's just how like the timing of contracts work. And when guys are eligible for extensions. So that argument I don't like, I wouldn't understand, is if like you're saying that he's getting, or he's making more than like AJ Brown, but a lot of people would probably take AJ Brown over him. Okay, AJ Brown got paid 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever it was. And that's what the number was at that time. And it's not, first of all, it's not like he's making more than Jamar Chase. He's not the highest paid wide receiver in the league. But I think, and I know, oh, he's a Ravens fan. Of course he says that. But he deserves every penny of this money. And I'm gonna give you something that I saw, or read you something that I saw that I find very telling and very interesting on why he does deserve this money. So Zay Flowers' stats from the last 3 years that he's been in the league. He started with 70. So this is going to be receptions, yards, and touchdowns. And then I'm going to give you the Ravens pass attempts rankings that year. You ready?
I'm listening.
So 23, he had 77 catches, 858 yards, and 5 touchdowns. 24, he had 74 catches, 1,059 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Last year, he had 86 catches, 1,211 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Ravens pass attempts rankings. 23, they were 30th out of 32. 24, they were 31st out of 32. And last year, they were dead last in pass attempts. So when it comes to like these other receivers and wide receiver ones and all that whole conversation, Zay's doing it with the team being more of a run first offense, or they are a run first offense, and they've been bottom 3 in the league the last 3 years in pass attempts, and he's putting up those numbers. Imagine if they were like 15th in pass attempts, like middle of the pack, 16. How many more he'd easily have 100 catches. He'd probably have if he's going to continue this trajectory, he'd have probably over 1,400 yards, 1,300 yards. So like, I think one of the biggest things, and I've always thought this, is because he's 5'9" and 185 pounds, people don't think he's a wide receiver one. And they're like, oh, but he can only be a wide receiver one on certain teams. If the Bengals had Zay Flowers instead of Jamar Chase, they would be just as explosive. They would put up a lot of points. Do you watch Zay Flowers play? He does more than Jamar Chase does in an offense.
Anybody but Jamar Chase.
Okay, Minnesota.
You could have said, sure, come on, what are we talking about right now?
Okay, what do you want me to say?
You could have said CD. You could have said George Pickens. You could have said so many other people.
Dallas. You don't think they'd be putting up just as many points, if not more?
If you take out George Pickens and you put in Zay Flowers?
Well, everyone wants to talk about wide receiver ones and how he's not one.
Okay,
so we take a wide receiver one on the Ravens.
So we take out CD Lamb and you put Zay Flowers. You're saying they would still be.
CD had 3 touchdowns last year.
I don't disagree. Don't talk to me about CD Lamb. CD Lamb is a whole other entity of a problem, but that's also Dallas is a problem. But you're telling me you take CD Lamb out, you put Zay Flowers in, they're still a high-powered offense.
Yes.
Okay.
1,000%. Because, like, I think this is like what I just read is one of the most telling things that makes Zay a wide receiver. Because if you put him on Dallas is probably top 15 in pass attempts in the league. So he would have just as good of numbers as CD does. If he's doing this in a team that's a run first team, that they run the ball significantly more than they throw it. But I don't know. I think he deserves it. I think the amount of stuff that he does for the offense and his yards after catch. I know he hasn't scored the most touchdowns ever, but I think he'll go up from what he's been at, especially in this Declan Doyle offense. And yeah, I mean, he's Lamar's guy. I think Lamar wanted him to stay. I think he wanted them to extend Zay. So he's here for the formidable future. But I don't know. People just love to hate on Zay. I don't know why. They can't admit that he is a wide receiver one. And they have to like diminish him to like he's just a wide receiver one on this team. Like, you put him on a lot of teams, he could be a wide receiver one on those teams. I really think it's just his stature. He's putting up numbers just as good as these other guys. So what makes him not a wide receiver one? If that's the case,
I think for me, it's not anymore. I think I have to learn and say like Zay Flowers is a wide receiver one. He is. That's what he is on the roster. That's what he has played as. So he's a wide receiver one.
But that's like diminishing it still.
Making him. Golly, how am I gonna say this without? It's gonna sound disrespectful, and as a Steelers fan, this is just gonna sound disrespectful, and that's fine.
Do it. You've already said
him being paid around the fourth highest paid wide receiver in the league. It's tied for the fourth.
Jesse.
Tied for the fourth. I'm sorry because Justin Jefferson is also technically 35, so they're both. He's tied for fourth.
Jesse, do you think Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the NFL?
Yes, we've had these conversations. You already know where I'm going with this, and that's not what I'm saying. I think it's
I'm not saying he's the best. I'm not even saying he's the fourth best.
I wasn't even trying to say. I don't know what I was trying to say.
He's a wide receiver 1 though.
I think
And at
that this
minimum top 15.
the Discord. That's why I said it worse.
I think he's top 10. But
okay. Nah, I don't have much more. I don't have more to say on that. I said what I needed to say my first time, and I don't think I need to repeat myself. So I'm good.
I just think it's like diminishing when people are like, "Oh yeah, but he's listed as a wide receiver 1." Tell me what makes him not a wide receiver 1 to everybody that thinks he's not. What makes him not? Look at his numbers, especially last year, and he's gotten better every year. Be like, oh well, a lot of people would be like, oh, he fumbles a lot. Okay, that's fixable. I don't get it. I don't get it. I think people just like to hate on him because he's 5'9" and he's not a stereotypical wide receiver 1. He's not an AJ Brown or a Puka, even a JSN. JSN's not the biggest dude, but bigger than Zay. Just a bunch of haters out here.
Yeah, you guys here. I'll just end this. You guys let us know down in the comments if you think this was the worst contract you've ever seen, or if it makes sense for the Ravens.
Makes perfect sense. It's their first homegrown Pro Bowl.
That's why I said let the people comment, and we'll have a discussion.
They're just gonna hate.
We'll let the people comment, and then we will deal with the hate comments because we've as long as we've done this podcast, so it's fine.
Just anyway, a bunch of haters.
Just a little bit on the injury report, just to get us ready for the upcoming season. Some things that have been put out. Jalen Walker, the 2025 15 overall pick for the Falcons, suffered a torn ACL during practice yesterday. So he's going to have season-ending surgery, I think, this week. So they will not have Jalen Walker for this year, which is unfortunate, especially for this past year. He had 36 total tackles, 24 solos, 5 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 pass defended. So losing a guy like that in your defense is obviously, it hurts for the Falcons, especially because there's not really many other guys at the front. But we hope that Jalen Walker has a speedy recovery and can get back to the field as soon as possible. So,
yes.
Cool. I didn't know you had anything else to say. All right, cool. Bet.
Get better.
49ers star Mike Evans suffered a quad strain. Was held out for practice.
Bro, that is still developed. Is insane. Said freaking magnet. They need to freaking move the practice field.
That substation is killing them. Let me tell you,
it's so blaringly obvious now.
It even got to the head coach. That's how you know it's bad. Like Kyle Shanahan's not even at practice. That's how you know it's bad.
like the amount of injuries they have, and it's been a week of training camp.
Insane.
Is insane.
Insane work. I agree.
Move your freaking field.
I know. And then one last thing to bring up before we move on to division previews that came out a couple hours ago. The Commanders signed all-pro wide receiver Stephon Diggs to a 1-year, $12 million deal. So Stephon Diggs is coming back home to Maryland, where he played college ball, just 20 minutes away. Biggest thing for me, it moves the Commanders a little bit. It does move the Commanders a little bit. Now having Terry and Diggs does move me for Jaden Daniels if he stays healthy. I think that's something to consider. And
I mean, it helps them. To me, I feel the same way about the Commanders that I did before. So
you can say that. That's fine.
I'm just saying, like, their running back room is still not good. Their tight end room's still not good. So
I think, but
offensive line, not great. They have some good linemen.
Nah,
but
they have a pretty good offensive line. They have a pretty good offensive line. It's
they have
not like
Cosme and Laramie Tunsil.
okay, the Niners only have Trent Williams, and we say they have a pretty okay O line.
No, I never said that. Don't.
So
They had a terrible line last year.
yeah, but
They did not have a good one.
the thing with the O line is they only hear that one player's name and like, oh, they're fine.
That's not how
That's
it
all I'm
works because
saying.
the
That's not how I'm
49ers
saying.
weren't fine.
I'm saying that's what other people say. They hear about one person who is elite, and then the rest of the O line is above average to average, and they're like, oh, okay, it's like an okay O line, but it's not a great O line. I'm
Yeah,
not saying the Commanders is on the same level as like the Philadelphia
no, I
Eagles,
know that.
but they get the job done.
We'll see.
So we'll see.
Defense
Obviously
still
this
unproven, by the way.
obviously this news detriments Brandon Ayuk's plans to go to Washington, so we will see what happens with him
No,
if a
he's
team
not
wants to
going there.
pick him
They're
up.
just gonna
I
cut
don't
him.
think he's I don't believe he's gonna get picked by another team. I don't know who's gonna pick him up. He might not play this year. And
Vegas.
then developing news, the Rams hosted Aaron Donald at the facility today for a workout. He's gonna be a Ram. We're just waiting.
Well,
We're waiting
no,
for
duh.
confirmation. We're waiting for confirmation. At this point, I'm just gonna consider him
If
being a
he's
Ram at this
working
point.
out, if he's working out at the
So yeah,
facility, he's coming back.
yeah. So
He's not gonna go there and work out and then go home and stay retired.
I don't disagree, but I have to mention it because it just happened and it's
Dude,
news.
it's gonna be so
So I can't
ridiculous.
wait to see on my news feed tomorrow morning that Aaron Donald is back.
Yeah,
So
I don't even want to talk about that. It's gonna be ridiculous.
what you mean the Rams defense, who was already good, just got better? I know it's crazy work.
Oh yeah, you mean Aaron Donald and Miles Garrett
Scary.
on the same line?
Ay, ay, ay.
Freaking, freaking Miami Heat over here.
Honestly, it feels more like it feels more like the Golden State Warriors at this point.
Freaking LA Dodgers.
Dodgers too. All right. Well,
Fit.
anyway,
They're both in LA.
they are both in LA. Let's get to the moment you guys have all been waiting for, our division previews. Which is our AFC North edition. So we're talking all things Bengals, we're talking all things Browns, we're talking all things Ravens, and we're talking all things Steelers. So I feel like we should save our two teams for last and let's talk about the other teams first. I feel like that's
All right,
fitting.
Browns stink. Moving on.
Okay, come on. We talk a little bit more about the Browns. We're
Okay.
gonna do what we normally do. Biggest thing, you lose Myles Garrett, you get Jared Verse. So the defense, I'm not saying is bad because you still have Carson, God, I can't say his last name. Schlesinger, thank you. You still have Denzel Ward, who's a top corner in the league. You still have Mason Graham, who is a developing star at the D tackle position. And now you add Jared Verse, who
And
not
they
a
have a
slouch
new head
either on the
coach,
Rams. He was a stud.
Todd
He
Monken.
was a stud with them. So him being there just adds to this is now a very young front seven. Mostly.
Oh,
It's
they also
mostly a
have a
very young front seven.
whole new offensive line, a new head
Whole new
coach.
offensive line, new head coach in Todd Monken. And then you have I don't know who's the quarterback one at this point because they haven't said anybody.
I think it's gonna be Shador.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was Shador.
I don't think
I've heard people are saying Deshaun Watson might be the QB1.
Deshaun Watson should
I'm not
never
gonna
play it down to football again. And then he
again.
goes in a freaking interview after practice and says, "Yeah, I'd love to sign another contract here in Cleveland." No, duh, because they'll make it fully guaranteed. Because they're they're
Exactly.
idiots. I'm sorry, but it's true.
No, I hear you. I hear you completely. I'm not saying I'll never agree with what he did, but he's still playing
Put
the
Shador in. You
quarterback
drafted
position.
him. He's younger. You're not
But
anywhere
obviously,
close to contending or
true.
competing for anything. Let Shador develop and play.
Yeah. But then for the other pieces, you have Quidshawn Jenkins at running back. You have Jared Judy, Denzel Boston. They got Casey Conception, right?
Yeah.
Or am I wrong? Yeah, they got Casey
He just
Conception
got
as
I think
well.
he just got hurt.
I think he did.
But
I
it's
think
not
it's
serious. I think they said it wasn't like serious or
okay. Cool,
something
cool, cool,
like
cool, cool.
that.
Cool. And then you have
But he'll
Harold
be
Fanning at
back.
tight end. So the Browns, to me, are a team that obviously both of us here are not saying they're going to be doing anything in the playoffs, because it's the Browns. But I
Oh, it's
think
Tylan Wallace.
this
Sorry.
team has the potential, if they develop well, to be a team that makes some noise maybe next year or maybe the year after that if everybody develops really well. Um, Obviously, that really depends on how Todd Monken is gonna coach this team up and the whole coaching staff, and how that will all entail. And obviously, for me, I think the biggest thing is the defense. You lose a guy like Miles Garrett, who's been a pinnacle of that defense for so many years. Thank goodness for us, I don't have to see Miles Garrett on a week
That's
to
a good
week
thing.
basis. But you still have a pretty young team with a lot of guys that are stars. So really, the biggest thing is, can these guys gel and make it work for the offense to be able to be complementary? Right now, the Browns are over under 6.5. I'm probably gonna put them at the under because it's the Browns. I don't think that's much to be said. But they do have
Man, you
the
gotta have an easy
easiest. I
schedule.
think they have the easiest strength of schedule. I don't know if it's the easiest, but I think they're up there. I don't want to say they're like number one, but I think they're up there
What is
for
the
pretty
easiest?
easy schedules this year.
They
But
gotta have one of the
I would
easiest.
ass-
They're
I would have to assume.
dead last or in the division. But anyway, I think well, you look at their strength. Are you looking that up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up.
Uh, I think they killed the first round in the draft. Actually, it's
Last year,
first
yes.
two rounds. This past year or 2026, because you got Spencer Fano at tackle. You got your new tackle. You got Casey Concepcion, wide receiver. You got a weapon for Shador. You got Denzel Boston, a big X 6'4" receiver, 50-50
Well,
possession guy.
I've heard a lot about him in training camp. He's been doing really good. So I think he's. They're saying he's potentially wide receiver one over Jared Judy, which would be
I
very
mean,
interesting if that's the
I
case.
would not hate that if I was a Browns fan.
Me neither.
Like, and then Emmanuel McNeil Warren, the safety from Toledo, I
Yep,
think he's gonna be
a
insane.
stud.
So
I forgot to mention him in the defense. Yeah.
you you got him and Grant Delpit as your safeties. You got Denzel Ward, Jared Verse, Mason Graham. Like you got some pieces. Like you just got to go out there and just compete and try to get better and develop these guys. And hopefully next year after the offseason and free agency and the next year's draft, maybe next year you can start competing for something. But you gotta develop. And if you want to, I don't know what they're gonna do with Shador after this year.
Who
I don't
knows?
know if they're
Yeah.
gonna draft a receiver or a quarterback because of how crazy that draft class is next year. But if you believe in Shador, then pour all the resources you possibly can into him, because otherwise, if you don't have, like, it's the Browns. They've been looking for a quarterback for their whole existence. Not their whole existence, but it feels like it.
Feels like it.
But I don't know, probably since Bernie
At least
Kosar.
2000s. This feels like it. Yeah.
I mean, the whole
Um.
2000s, yeah. I think
Yeah.
the
It
last
was
one was like Bernie
disgusting.
Kosar. That was the like
Was the best
80s
one?
or 90s. Yeah, for the Browns.
No, Baker.
I mean, he
Baker
won a
got him to a
playoff
playoff.
game.
Baker got him to a playoff appearance, a playoff win
Pretty
at that.
I
So like,
know Bernie Kosar did too. He
I
got him
don't
to the
disagree, but
playoffs.
that's what you said. It hasn't been since him, but like Baker's recent
No,
memory.
I said since they've had a franchise guy, they didn't like Baker. They didn't want Baker.
Yeah, well,
They
now
got
they
rid
wish
of
they
him.
had Baker.
They got rid of him after he won a
Um,
playoff game
I don't disagree. That's why I said they wish they had
against the
him now.
Steelers, by the way.
Hilarious. Anyway, they have the easiest schedule. They're number one. Yeah, they're number one for strength of schedule. So they have a very easy schedule this year.
But I'm gonna
But yeah,
say
I'm still saying under.
I'll say under. I think they get. I think they
I think they
get.
get 6. I think they get 6.
I'll say
Because I don't
6.
want to say 5 or 4. Because that's just like I feel like if they have the easiest schedule, they should win at least 5 games. They should.
Should.
They should.
I think they get 5 or 6. But I'll
Yeah.
say I'll give them 6.
All right.
I'll
Let's
be
go
a little more
to
optimistic for Browns fans.
let's go to the Bengals. Let's go to the Bengals. What to talk about the Bengals?
The
I mean, Dexter
Bengals.
Lawrence is probably the highest thing on the list for what they've done this offseason. Getting a guy like that, I think for me, if I were to sum up the Bengals offseason in a whole, they did a pretty good job locking down some defensive pieces. Because you got Dexter, you got Jonathan Allen, Cassius Howell, Boye Mafe on the line, and then you got Brian Cook and Takiro Davis in the secondary. So, like, these guys that they got in free agency are really solid role players to like really high end stars in the defensive side of the ball. So, and I don't think they really did anything offensively, which I mean they don't really need to because you have T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, who are one of the best duos in football. You have Joe Burrow, who's a top 10 quarterback. And the running back room with Chase Brown, it's always kind of finicky. I think the year before he had a really good year. This past year wasn't that great, but he still produced. So I can't say that he hasn't been the worst running back I've seen in a Bengals uniform. But Zach Taylor, you better hope and pray
He's
because
coaching for his life.
you have the third easiest schedule in the league this year with the team you have assembled.
Bengals in September don't matter.
If this team is not, and I'm not even trying to put it out there that they're going to beat my team. Lord, please don't. But you should be fighting for a wild card spot this year. You should be. With the team that you have, you should be fighting for a wild card spot. Point blank period. And if not, and if you're the Bengals front office, Zach Taylor's got to go. The Super Bowl,
Should. I mean, he should have been gone already.
The Super Bowl hangover is gone. It's gone. It's gone. No one's been talking about that Bengals Super Bowl in forever. I haven't talked about it in forever. They've done nothing but
people love to talk
first
about
round
it,
exits or not even make the playoffs at all. Yes, there were injuries a big factor because Joe Burrow was hurt. Absolutely, we're not going to account for that. I mean, we are going to account for it, but we're not going to diminish it. But at the same time, Zach, we've seen backup QBs do well with this offense and still get very far in the playoffs. Like I could talk so many like examples. I could talk Jimmy G. We could talk what's his face? Why am I forgetting his name right now?
Joe Flacco?
No. Eagles. What the heck is his name?
Eagles.
Nick Foles. Like the biggest example of a backup QB relishing in that. Now, obviously, the Eagles are a different beast in terms of what the team they had, but nonetheless, this team, barring no injuries, should at least be fighting for a wild card spot. At least. And if they're not, Zach Taylor's got to go. Has to go.
I mean, yeah, he should have been gone, but
I agree. But this year, it has to go.
They just want to keep him around for some reason, but
who knows what that
hasn't
is.
made the playoffs in 4 years. Like normally you would never get that type of leash, but they have Joe Burrow, so the ownership is going to give him the benefit of the doubt because Joe Burrow has been hurt every year since the Super Bowl.
Even
And
before the Super Bowl.
I don't know. Yeah, true. His rookie year. But I don't know. I think they have the team. They have talent. They have the talent to go out there and compete for a playoff spot. I'm not wishing this on anyone.
Me neither. We
But
never wish injury on this
their
podcast.
injury history tells me that seems likely is going to happen again. Like, do I want Joe Burrow to be hurt when they play like the Raven? No, because it's more entertaining when he does play, and I want to beat them even more when he's playing.
It's literally a quote: "To be the best, you got to beat the best."
Yeah, like you want to play Joe Burrow. I don't want him to be on the sideline with a broken.
I don't want to
wrist
play
or
another year of Jake Browning / Joe Flacco. I don't want that. We're done with this.
Now it's Josh Johnson.
Now it's Josh Johnson. Which shout out that journeyman that he still got a job.
Team, right?
He's the Browns, isn't he?
There. I think so.
He might be a Browns backup. I don't know. Who knows at this point?
No, I think he's still in the Bengals.
Okay, let's digress and move
on. But yeah, I mean, whatever their over under is, it's probably what 10.5,
9.5,
9.5. I'll say if Joe Burrow can stay healthy for the full season, I think they are over. I think they get it 10.
Yes.
I think they go 10-7, which isn't like it's not crazy because every year also they can't win in September.
Yeah, September they suck in September.
Like they're notorious for being the slowest starting team, at least when it comes to like contending teams.
Let's see what their games are in September.
Like I think under Zach Taylor, they've won like a handful of games in September since he's been there. It's something crazy.
That wouldn't surprise me. Let's see. What
last year they were what, like
0-3
to start the year.
Something
like that.
It's Bucks, Texans, Steelers.
Oh, start
in
the
year?
month
in the month of September.
Let's look up like Zach Taylor's September record. So under Zach Taylor, they're 7-14-1 in September.
Yeah, that's not confident.
So take that with what you want. But if they start slow again, I don't see them making the playoffs.
With the team that they have, they should.
If they start like so what, 0-3, 1-2?
Yeah. No, I don't. I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
Can't start slow first? The Bengals, huh?
So who do we talk about first?
Save the best for last. So we'll talk about the Steelers.
Oh, so me. All right, cool. So we're talking Ravens first.
We're talking about Steelers. I already said the Steelers. You can't take my thing like that. You can't take my joke in the middle of it.
It's fine. We'll talk about the division winning Steelers. That's fine.
One reason you won is because of this kick.
I still won. Anyway, and
our defense was trash last year.
Still won. Biggest thing, Mike Tomlin.
Wait till this year.
Goodbye, Mike Tomlin. Hello, Mike McCarthy. Biggest thing is that we parted ways with Mike after how many years it's been with him under the helm, and now it's Mike McCarthy running the offense. Now, I've gotten better with the Mike McCarthy hiring now that we have gotten close to August, and it really just make
Rodgers and McCarthy.
I know they're talking to each other like old times.
So cute.
They love each other. I think having a more offensive-minded coach is going to be good for us, especially because I think offense has been the weakest point of our team many years since Big Ben retired, our offense just has never really been like an elite offense. It's been like average to
Mid.
below average at times. So having a guy who is an offensive mind would be good to have. Could we have brought a young person in? Could we have just brought in a new quarterback? Sure. But we did Mike McCarthy and running it back with A-Rod. So it's the
But you did
Steelers
bring
are
in a
just
quarterback, Drew Aller.
anyway. I
Just
can't say
saying.
much of it. No, he's been doing really good in training camp, so I can't even be mad about it.
Saw that.
But
What
anyway,
did he have that nice throw to
we also got
DK, I think.
yeah. The free agency, we got Michael Pittman at wide receiver, which I think is great for the wide receiver room. Obviously it was DK Metcalf and Calvin Austin. I think it's Calvin Austin. He was one of my favorite Steelers to watch. Hope he does well over in New York. But I think Michael Pittman's just going to add a certain level of
Juice.
juice, maybe. But I also think like um just we never had like this really like elite, not elite receiver. I can't say he's like an elite receiver because
You
he's not like
never
no
had a
echelon, but like
formidable
we
wide
never had like a
receiver
really
too.
really great wide receiver too. And Pittman, yeah, has he not had a couple of bad years in Indianapolis, but he still at his best was
He's had
a top
really
15,
good
20
years. I mean,
receiver.
he's had good years. They just like
Yeah, the coach
the
just didn't have a
last
quarterback.
like he's not the flashiest dude. You're not gonna hear
No,
like
but he gets the job done, and that's what
yeah.
matters.
He's
And
consistent.
then you get Rico Dowdle to pair up with Jalen Warren at the running back position. This is one of my favorite signings. I think he's going to add um, a level of like our rushing group that we haven't had. And I think he's really like, yes, will I miss Kenneth Gainwell and his insane catches? Absolutely. But I think Rico Dowdle is I would say a better upgrade in terms of actual true running back
Yeah.
than Kenneth Gainwell.
Like run
Um,
game type
yeah.
of stuff.
And then obviously you add Jamel Dean and Jaquan Brisker in the secondary. Dean coming from the Bucks, Brisker coming from the Bears. Both of those guys doing well in their own right. And I think adding them to the secondary is going to make us a really, really good secondary from last year when we had a really, really bad secondary. It was bad. Outside of JPJ and Jalen Ramsey. And sometimes Deshaun Elliott. Deshaun Elliott had some good games. He had some bad games. But everybody else was kind of not much to talk about. So, and then honestly in the draft, you get Max Ahinachor, we got Jeremy Bernard. A lot of people have been talking about Heli Heidenreich, which I think he was our last pick, I believe, in the 7th round. So a lot of people have been talking about him. They've been saying he's been really good in training camp, and I'm excited to see
Is that the
what he's
Navy like running
yeah,
back,
the Navy running
wide
back.
receiver?
Yeah. So I'm excited to see how they're gonna use him because I'm assuming that if they're talking highly about him, I think he'll have some usage. I don't know where that would be. Maybe in the punt return or kick return. Even though we got Caden Westgene for that, but
Wet
maybe
isn't it like Wetgen or something?
Wetchins.
Wetgen?
I
It's
couldn't
like
tell you what it
German or
is, but
something, I think.
yeah. But they said Eli's been really really solid in training camp, so I'm excited to see what he does. Um, yeah, I don't know. Over or under 8.5.
Hmm. Over under 8.5.
And reminder, this is a team that hasn't had a losing season in 22 years. Does that sound right?
Well, as long as Tomlin was there.
Yeah, so about 22 years straight.
So 19 at least.
Huh.
I think they go.
I gotta be realistic.
Well, if
I
I
have
say
to
under, I'm a hater. If I say
over, then you're glazing.
I never glaze this team. But
That's the thing. I would. But like, here's the thing. I don't think we're gonna
I'll
be
give
the.
you guys. I'll say 9. I'll say over. I'll say you go 9-8 again.
I agree. I'll say over, and we get 9-8. I think If we get more, great. We exceeded expectations, and I feel really good. I think the team that we have, I feel really good that I could see us winning more than nine games. But I think with the Steelers, and that's why I said in an earlier video, we're just perpetually mid. Um, they're not the best. They're not in the tier of teams that are like Super Bowl contenders, but they also are not a team that's gonna go number one overall pick. So you take that as you will. I like what the Steelers have done this offseason. I think we've added a lot of not only like pieces for now to like make us like um playoff ready, but also I think for the future as well. I know I didn't talk about Drew Allen and Will enough, but I think those guys, if they really do develop, I think they're gonna be one of those guys is going to be a franchise guy. I'm not going to stand here and say who will be the franchise guy because that's up to the front office and the coaching staff. But I think whoever either one does well, I think they'll be really solid pieces for us for many, many years to come. And yeah, I think with the secondary that we brought in and also I really loved the development of what's his name? Nate Herbig and Jack Sawyer. I think those guys are going to be studs for us if they develop really well. And also, um, godly Derek Harmon as well. I think he had I'd say a very underrated rookie year, all things considered. And I think he's somebody that I will see in the future being our DT like run stopper there. So I'm excited to see what this team does. Now, if the quarterback position pans out the way we want it to, great. If it doesn't, then we'll just have to keep looking.
All
You
right,
don't have much more to say, do
let's
you?
get to the big guns.
Hey,
Let's get to the top dogs
I
now.
know he said best for last.
It
It's
is.
whatever.
Everyone knows it.
Now we'll get to the second place team, Baltimore Ravens.
Now we'll get to the
Anyway.
2026 division champions. Um,
Oh,
but
holy
start
projection.
off. I
Okay,
mean,
there we go. Uh,
well, yeah. Well, I'm gonna say that because it's gonna happen. But for the Ravens offseason, they got Trey Hendrickson, which was their big splash.
not
Um,
Jesse Minter.
well, player wise,
Okay, sure.
you got obviously, or okay, let me start over. John Harbaugh's gone.
There you go.
In comes Jesse Minter, new era of Ravens football. I think I think it was a well done hire. I think it was a needed change in message and scenery and um vision in like mentality. I just think that Jesse Minter was the best hire they could have had. Um he fits here. He's been here before as an assistant. But player wise, they got like I said, they got Trey Hendrickson, uh 4 years, 112, John Simpson, replaced Daniel Falele, thank goodness.
Fa la la
Um,
la la.
I don't have to see that guy ever again. He's in New York.
Falele.
Followed John Harbaugh. But they
What
also
you
got,
mean? He went to the Giants now. We'll get to see him at some point.
yeah, Turnstile. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Um, but then they got Jalen Hawkins from the Patriots, which I love. I think that's going to be a home run signing. He had a career year last year. He played in the Super Bowl. Um, and that way Kyle Hamilton can play his usual all over the place. You don't know where he's going to line up. He can play line, linebacker, deep, free safety, nickel, all of that. And then Calais Campbell came back. So we got another defensive line depth piece. Big body, run stuffer. Still got some pass rush juice in there. Chidobe Awuzie is back. He was the most consistent corner last year. He played great for us, so he got another contract from us, or from the Ravens, and he earned it based on his play last year. Then you got Durham Smythe, blocking tight end, Ethan Pocic, center, because we lost Linderbaum to the Raiders because we weren't paying him $27 million for a center, which is kind of ridiculous. But they had the money to do it. So now we got
Man,
Ethan
you
Pocic.
know Linderbaum deserved that contract. You
No, he
know
does.
that.
That's way too much for a center.
Brother.
Way too much.
Brother.
Bro, the highest paid center prior to that was 18 or 19. He got 10 million more.
And you know how good Linderbaum has been for your team.
Yes, but he's not. I wouldn't
Exactly.
even pay that. I wouldn't even have paid him that. They gave him an offer. It was like 21 or 22, but not 27. That's insane. It's like edge rusher money.
See, that's overpay, but Zay's not. But anyway, I digress. Move on. I
10
move on.
million
I
over
move
the
on. I
market
move
for
on.
a
I move
lineman.
on.
Yes.
I move on. I move on.
Don't ever compare those two contracts.
I could if I wanted to.
No,
And a lot
you
of people
can't.
might too.
No, if anyone does, they're stupid. But then you got Durham Smythe, blocking tight end, like I said, Danny Pinter, compete for center. Jovan Gwynn came over he was on the Falcons with Ledford, the offensive line coach last year, compete for center. Skylar Thompson, basically a camp quarterback. But yeah, and then you got your draft picks. So obviously you had Vega in the first round, you had Zion in the second, Jacoby Lane, Elijah Surratt in the third.
Have you heard anything about Zion Young in training camp so far?
Mm-hmm. They have to hold him back from
Cool.
going too hard
Got you.
sometimes. But that dude's gonna be a problem too. But hold on, let me bring up their I want to bring up their full draft.
Okay.
We got, where is it? They got Vega, Zion, Jacoby Lane in the third, Elijah Surratt in the fourth, Matthew Hibner tight end, Chandler Rivers cornerback, Josh Cuevas tight end, Adam Randall running back, and then they drafted a punter, Ryan Eckley. And I think the steal of draft for them, honestly, is probably Rayshon Benny from Michigan, the defensive tackle. I think it's crazy that he almost went undrafted. But yeah, overall, I just think they made the necessary moves when it comes to free agents, and they covered all the needs that they had to in the draft. And yeah, I think with the new offense in Declan Doyle, the new defense under Jesse Minter, you got Anthony Weaver back as DC, Anthony Levine Sr. as your special teams coordinator. All guys that have been here before, know what it's like to coach here, what it's like to some of them two of them played for the Ravens. So they know the mentality, they know what the standard is. And I think the new vision and the new mentality is gonna, I think, take them to where they want to go and expect to go. So yeah, I'm very excited. And I know what their over under is already. It's 11.5. They're projected to be, their odds are just behind the Rams for the most wins, to have the most wins in the league. Am I right though? It's 11.5. Okay. Over. 14-3. What are you gonna say?
I'm thinking of what to say.
That's usually
the
not
thing is,
good.
I'm not glazing, so I'm not gonna say over. But
Oh,
no,
even though I
no,
sit
it's
over your
crazy.
team,
It's
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, because my team's gonna go 9-8, while yours is projected to go
Yeah,
11-6.
11-6 or
We're
12 and
not in the
5.
same tier here, buddy.
Yeah, but
You're
they're.
comfortably in the playoffs, while I'm barely gonna be scratching by with a wild card appearance.
I could have said under very
Two
easily.
very different things. But anyway, I think for me the Jesse Minter pick was the most important. I think
It is.
Jake has been very adamant about John Harbaugh had to go. Because it was just years upon years upon years of them, the team that they the team that they have, and the fact that they are just either missing the playoffs or losing in the playoffs is just something that at this point, for how good of a coach John Harbaugh was, it kind of just we needed a new person in the building. And I think I've said this to Jake before as well. I think Jesse Minter was probably the second best coach hiring, other than what's his face to the Raiders? What's his name?
Oh, Clint Kubiak.
Clint Kubiak. I think when you want a guy like a defensive minded guy that's just going to add more to this Ravens defense, which is already a really good defense. And then you add Trey Henderson and get Matabike back from injury, that just makes it even more formidable. So all that to be said, um, I think Minter was, in my opinion, the most important part of the offseason for the Ravens. You could say Trey Henderson. You could even say drafting Jacoby Lane, or even getting Vega. Whatever you guys want to say, it don't matter to me.
I think
I
it is
think the
Minter.
coach is the most important thing, and I think Minter is going to be the difference maker for me over Todd Monken or Mike McCarthy. Because I think for the Browns, it's going to be their defense, and I think for the Steelers, it's going to be our offense. Those are the two biggest X factors. For the Ravens, their offense and defense, we know what they are, and they're elite. It's the coaching that's going to take them over the top. That's the difference maker there. So for me, I think I will say under. I will say at least one game less, like 10-7 or something like that. And that's not to say that's a slouch on the team that they have. I just think first year coaches, it's very hard for them to go 12-4 or better. And I'm not saying that Jesse Minter can't do that, but for first year coaches, it's like everything has to go your way for it to be that way. But if Minter can be the one to surpass and surprise all of us, sure, that doesn't hurt me in the slightest. But yeah, I'll say under 10-7, something like that.
All right, you want to get into fantasy picks?
Let's do it. But obviously, our winner here is probably going to be the Ravens. I'm not going to sit here and say the Steelers. I would love to say the Steelers, but I am, if anything, and Jake knows this about me, I am not a glazer of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I love the Steelers. I love my team. But at the end
Rephrase
of the day,
that.
you have to be what?
I said rephrase what you said. You literally said earlier in this episode that
I said I wouldn't
you do
glaze,
glaze
and
your team.
I haven't. I haven't. There is
You're
a difference
more.
between loving my team.
You
There
are a
is a difference.
realistic fan, but you
There is
do
a
glaze
difference
them.
between loving my team. There's a difference between loving my team and then saying they're the best team in the league. That's glazing. That's something I've never done,
Yeah,
and you've known that to
no,
be true.
that
I've
doesn't.
never
That
said they
doesn't
are the best team in the
only
league. I've
glazing.
never said they'd be in the Super Bowl every year after year after year. I
That's
am
not the only
as
thing that makes
realistic as
you
they come.
would be considered glazing.
It would be.
Is saying they're going to go to the Super Bowl
It
is the
would
only
be.
way you're glazing?
It'd be glazy or unrealistic, or it'd be like
You are
what's an
realistic, but you do glaze them.
no, I don't. I love my team. There's the difference.
You
I'm a
said it
realistic
earlier
Steelers
in
fan.
the episode.
I did not. I said I've never glazed the Steelers.
You said it.
If I said it, I'll run it back. I'll run it back in the tape, but I don't think I did.
I'm pretty sure you did. We
And
both
if I
said
did,
it.
then okay. I'm gonna look at my camera right here, because obviously I didn't say something I didn't mean to say. I love my team, but I do not glaze the Steelers. I am a realistic fan and know that we are not a great team. We're mid, but we somehow make the playoffs almost all the time. So that's the truth.
You can say you. I mean, I say I glaze.
I'm not
the
glazing.
teams, but
No, no, no.
I'm not
Mm-mm.
unrealistic.
Can't do that.
Like you do, whether you want to
No, I
admit it or
don't.
not.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Okay, whether
Jake,
you want to admit it or not, you do.
I have never had
Every
a
fan does it,
conversation.
Jesse.
No, but here's the thing. They're fans, they're Cowboys fans. And I have never been a Cowboys fan where saying this is the
Why
year.
are we talking
I've
about the
never
Cowboys?
said that. I've never said that. I've never said our team is going to make the Super Bowl. I've never said that. I
That
said
doesn't
we'll look
mean
good.
you don't glaze them. It's not
So
the only
what is
thing
your
you say.
definition of glazing? What is your definition of glazing?
So just answer this one question. So you're telling me the only way to glaze your team is to say they're going to the Super Bowl?
Yes, because that's an unrealistic expectation, and if I don't think my team is that good to say that I'm glazing them.
Glazing isn't just being unrealistic. It's just being like
that's the basis of the definition. I'm gonna look it up right now
is that
because
an
you get
actual like
now you gave me
term?
mad.
Bro, you glaze the Steelers sometimes. I don't say
I
all the
love
I didn't
my
say
team.
all the time.
I love my team, but I don't glaze the Steelers.
You do sometimes. You did last year. You're telling me right now you didn't do it last year.
So the modern slang of glazing is showering someone with extreme, often insincere praise, flattery, or hype.
You hype up. You're telling me you don't hype up your team?
That's because I love my team, but that's the difference between that and glazing. We just have different definitions of glazing. That's fine.
You just read the definition and you do some of those things sometimes. I didn't say all the time. I didn't say consistently, but don't act like
I
you
don't think I do.
don't
I
do
don't think
it.
I do. But I don't think I do. I don't think I do.
Of course you don't, because you don't want someone to say that you're glazing the Steelers.
Because I am a
You want to be
realistic
known
fan,
as a
and
glazer.
I'm a realistic fan, and I've always have been. As long as you've known me, you've known that's true.
Yes, but I will say to everyone that you do glaze the Steelers sometimes.
I don't think I do, but that's your prerogative, brother. I have.
Oh my gosh. He just can't admit it, guys.
Nope. Because I don't, and I
It's
won't.
okay. There's nothing wrong with it.
I won't.
You're acting like
I
it's
won't
a
do that.
plague.
No. I'm just not gonna act like a Cowboys fan and be like, "Yo, we're gonna make the Super Bowl. This is our year," because that's not what I'm doing. I love my team.
Yes, you're realistic. That doesn't mean you don't glaze your team. Like
I love my team. I don't glaze the
Browns
Steelers, but I
fans
love
do
my
it.
team.
They do. They glaze their team sometimes. You don't think they glaze their team when they have Myles Garrett?
They glazed Myles Garrett. They didn't glaze the team because they know the team was butt.
Okay, whatever. You don't want to admit it. You're being stubborn about glazing the Steelers sometimes. Let's just move on. We know.
Cool. Just want it to be known out there.
It's not true.
Okay, that's your prerogative.
I mean, it's
do you have your fantasy picks then?
No, you go, Mr. Glazer.
Let's not make that a thing, guys, please, because that's not me. Please don't. Ooh, this is a great question for the North. I think breakout pick for me is going to be ooh, I can't. I want to say a defensive player, but I can't because for fantasy it wouldn't matter.
No.
I
mean, you could say
you know what? I'm gonna do Harold Fanning off the Browns as my breakout pick. I think you let David Njoku go to the Chargers. It's Harold Fanning's position to lose. He's tight end 1 going into the year, and Outside of Denzel Boston and Jared Judy and Casey Concepcion and whoever else is going to catch a football, I think what we saw of him last year is that Shador / Dylan Gabriel, whoever else was at quarterback, loved throwing the ball to Harold Fanning, and he is a guy that's going to get a lot of volume as well as touchdowns because they love seeing him in the red zone as well. So I think if he's somebody, I wouldn't say go early on it. I wouldn't say pick him as your first tight end. I would say he's a tight end that could be your second or could be a flex piece or a bench. But I think he could have tight end one potential. But I would rather you get somebody who has more like experience and more like you could go and get like a realistic piece like a Mark Andrews or a what's another? Like even a Travis Kelsey's probably gonna go later than people think, or even a Sam Laporta. Like get a guy that like has a couple years under their belt, and then Fanning could be somebody you get in like the later rounds, and you would feel pretty good about having that as a flex piece. And then sleeper pick, I think is gonna be Jacoby Lane off of the Ravens. Off of everything that's already been said, he's a guy that everybody's emerging to be wide receiver 2 or better. I'm not gonna say he will be, but I think he's somebody that in this offense, as Jake has said, since the Ravens are a run first offense, if Jacoby Lane's going to get the volume, he's going to get some volume off of here. I think he's going to use it to the. I think he'll use it to the benefit for his ability, and I think getting him because he's going to be a late round selection regardless. So he could also potentially go undrafted depending on what league you're in. So if he's somebody you could pick up in the waiver wire, that would be a great flex piece for you. For a wide receiver that's out, I think that'd be a great addition. So Harold Fanning, Jacoby Lane, those are my two.
All right, my breakout is gonna be. I think it's gonna be Darnell Washington.
Ooh,
I think he's gonna get more run at the as being a receiving threat based on what he showed last year. Because the dude's the size of a lineman and can catch the football
he's a
and get some
tank.
yards after catch. So he's very hard to tackle. So the more if you give him more opportunity, I think he's just going to show that he can be a reliable target.
They have used him more as a fullback.
I did see that.
So take
So
that as you will. He has been used more as a
I
fullback,
mean,
and he's lost weight. Don't know if that accounts to like the build, but there's also that as well. So
all right. And then my sleeper is gonna be.
where are you gonna go with this?
My sleeper is gonna be Denzel Boston.
I like it. I like it.
I
He was on my
think
mind as well.
I think that Denzel is based on like just his size and his catch radius. I think Shador is going to develop a certain amount of trust with him that if he can get the ball to him and just throw it up, that he can come down with a lot of contested catches, and that's just going to give Shador a sense of safety and trust and a willingness to take a few more chances, and I think he's going to score a lot of touchdowns. Denzel, I just think he's just that type of receiver, like a possession guy. So yeah, hopefully Todd Monken gives him that opportunity, but I think he will, just
Yeah.
because he is that good of a he's going to be that good of a receiver, in my opinion. But all right, stat leaders. Let's get into stat leaders. Let's go right into passing yards. Who you got?
I'd probably say
A-Rod?
Joe.
Okay.
I'd probably say
Joe?
Joe.
Probably, because they like to air the ball out. I would
Mm-hmm.
probably say that. They're
Now
definitely a pass first
would it be
offense.
crazy if the Ravens did it? No, depending on because
No, but
I mean
I think Joe would
I
have
don't
to get
know.
hurt.
Yeah, Joe would have to get hurt for that to happen.
Just because that's
Um,
just the nature of their two offenses.
The Steelers, if the Steelers did it, A-Rod must have went off, and for the Browns to do it, a miracle.
It's never gonna happen. Let's just
Miracle.
say that.
Rushing. Nah, it's the Ravens. I
Derrick
was
Henry.
thinking. Oh yeah, there's nobody else. There's nobody else.
Oh my back. Sorry.
I don't hate the Steelers running back room to say as a potential, but I think it would be Derrick
I
Henry.
do like Dowdle. I'm not gonna
I
say
think
I do like him as a running back.
yeah. I think it's one that if it were like a 2, I think they'd be the 2. But I think it's Derrick Henry's to lose, so it'd be them.
And
And
then let's
then
just move on. We're gonna say Chase.
you're
Just
gonna say Chase. Yeah,
because
it's
if
because
Joe
it's
Burrow is
Jamar
gonna
Chase.
lead in passing yard, Chase
Jamar's
is
gonna
probably
Chase
gonna
is
get a
leading
lot of
receiver.
yards.
Yeah.
So
There you have it,
Chase.
folks. There you have it, folks. The AFC North Division
And
Previews. And now
nobody could have predicted that. The Bengals get 2 out of 3 offensive categories, and both are
crazy work.
passing.
Crazy work.
No one
Isn't
would
it
have
crazy to
predicted
think
that.
about that Zach Taylor is now the longest tenured coach in the division?
Yeah. I mean, all
Who would've-
three have new head coaches.
Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? But anyway, guys, that is the last
Stupid.
of our division previews. So let us know down in the
You guys
comments what
liked
you
them?
guys liked them or you didn't like them. Let us know what you guys think about this specific one, the AFC North.
Or next year,
And
what we could do, or what you would
differently.
want to see, or maybe we could switch it up based on what you guys want to see, what you guys think we shouldn't do.
Yes.
Or should do.
All of it. Let us know down in the comments.
Let us know.
All right. So, Jake, you got a game for us, bud?
All right, let's go, Jesse. Here we go. Let me pull it up. All right, we're going to do 17-0 challenge part 4. And
We love this game.
Jesse's doing it this time. We're going to just go. We're going to go alternate until we get it.
I feel good about this one, guys. I feel great about this one.
All right, ultimate. Here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, that's a good start. You got the Browns.
Jeez. Okay.
Harold Fannin.
Yeah, I think that's my only viable option. I was thinking their defense for a minute, but I'm like, I don't trust their defense.
Every time I get the Browns, if I have a tight end spot, I take Harold Fannin. All right, you got the Chargers.
All right, guys. Remember what I said? I feel good about this one. I don't.
You got Herbert. You got Hampton. You got McConkey. You got head coach, defense.
Let's go, Jim Harbaugh. Let's go, Jim. Give me head coach.
Jimmy boy. All right.
I would have liked a more offensive-minded guy, but I think I'll take it.
Patriots.
Wow, it's just mid. Okay.
You got AJ
Brown.
Drake May.
AJ Brown. Yeah, give me AJ Brown. I'm just like, I'm thinking of the quarterbacks and like, I want to get one early because like if I get like a horrible one to end it all, I'll be horrible.
The Bears. Bears.
Bears. Do we risk it and take Caleb, or do we wait to get something better?
I don't know. Do you want defense? You got Loveland.
I haven't picked the receiver yet, so I still have Burden, Odunze. Another receiver.
Yeah. Yeah, you got Burden, Odunze.
I don't think I picked the running back yet, but I don't want to take Swift.
No.
Swift's not a good option. Give me the Bears. Wait, give me the Bears O-line. They have an elite line. They have a good O-line. Yeah. Right. Give me their O-line. I like their O-line a lot.
Next team, Vikings.
Justin Jefferson. Come on now. That's a no-brainer right there, baby. All
right.
I just need 2 really good running backs.
Next team is the Colts.
Jonathan Taylor.
Good one.
Now we're heating up, folks. Now we're heating up.
I would throw in Tyler Warren.
That's also a good one too. I still have defense. Rams defense. Let's freaking go.
I was gonna say defense, so
let's go. or
All right,
Matty
the
Stafford.
team's looking pretty good right now. I'm not gonna
I'm
lie.
not mad about it. I'm not mad
The
about it at all.
Giants.
Okay, I still need a running back and a quarterback and a tight end, correct?
Yeah.
Give
You
me
take
likely.
Yeah.
Give me likely. I'm telling you, I'm waiting on quarterback. I'm waiting. I'm
All right,
hoping for a good one.
Here we go. Chiefs.
Patrick.
You don't want
Patrick Mahomes.
Kenneth?
Nah, Patrick Mahomes. Hands down.
Oh, it would
You
have been
gotta get.
fun if you saved the last
I
round
can't. No,
spin for your
no,
quarterback.
no, no. Because
All right,
then if it's like,
here's your last running back. You got the Texans. So you got
in Montgomery, I don't
David
hate that.
Montgomery. Yeah.
I don't hate that at all. That could
All
be
right, let's see
worse.
what you get. What do you think it's gonna be?
I feel like it's a 14-3 or 13-4. That's where I feel
Dang,
like I'm
you
at.
nailed it.
What was it?
14-3.
Let's go. Come
So you got an
on.
A- grade.
Oh man. What was it? Do you think the coaching?
Probably your tight ends too.
What was it? Fanning and Likely?
Yeah.
That's an underrated tight end duo. I feel like they would do really good. I don't know
I
if
mean,
it's
they
bad.
would. They are talented. I love Isaiah
Yeah.
Likely. I think he's a number one tight end. But I think it's Fannin and then maybe your head coach, your second running back. Not saying
I
you're gonna
like the
get
head coach.
Montgomery, but
Yeah. I mean, all the other coaches, who would I would have taken? I mean, the Bears, I probably should. No, the Bears, I should have took Ben Johnson.
yeah, but that was after
Oh.
you took Harbaugh.
Oh. I know, but I could have done something else and got Ben Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, you could have taken.
I could have done
When did you
Herbert.
take?
I could have done
You.
Herbert with Ben Johnson coaching,
Yeah, you
and
could
then
have
take
Ben
Kenneth at
Johnson,
running back.
Mike Rabel, Andy. You could have Andy Reid,
I could have Andy Reid. Yeah.
but
Yeah, it is what it
anyway,
is. 14-3. We'll take it. That's
good,
a win. That's a win for the
good,
program.
good round.
That's a
14-3
playoff
is
team
not
right there.
bad. I mean, that's actually really good. So, all right, good job,
That's
Jesse.
true.
Good job.
I appreciate it. Good
man. Round.
We're gonna get 17-0. We're gonna get it. We're one of these days.
That's the goal.
We're gonna get it. One of these days.
I did it by myself and I got 16-1. So
same. Anything's possible.
I don't know if it is possible, to be honest, but we're gonna try.
We're gonna try our gaddum best. Dadgum best. I tried to say that. Dadgum best. I tried my best, guys. Maybe I'm just not meant for those words. Anyway,
not meant for that life.
Let's get into the Bible verse of the episode. All right, Bible verse of the episode is James 3 verse 13, which says, give me 1 second while I pull it up here. Who is wise and understanding among you? Let them show it by their good life, by deeds done in the humility that comes from wisdom. Would you like me to read that again, Jake, or you got it?
I'm reading it. That's why I'm looking off to the side.
Beautiful. All right. All right. So this verse, James 3:13. This verse to me is talking about, well, obviously it's talking about like wisdom among Christians and what that is supposed to look like and what does it show. And so the biggest thing for me is that it's practical. And that's like true wisdom is practical, sorry. So it's basically like a person who understands doesn't have maybe not say it like that. Like real understanding is not proven by words, by fancy words or stuff like that, or like thinking you know everything about everything. It's about the actions that you make, or the actions that you do, the choices you make, and the behavior that you have for yourself and your character. And that's like not being. It's basically kind of like a pride verse, and that's kind of like.
Wait, I'm just trying to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Would it be like having um oh my gosh, I forgot the other word I was gonna say, but one of them was humility,
That is true.
and I forget the other one, which I'm mad about now because
Dang
I
it.
literally
Hey,
had it as soon as I
i-
was gonna say it. But
if
just
it
keep
comes
going,
back,
keep going.
if it
I
comes
thought
back to
of
you,
that
let
when
me
you were
know.
saying that, so
Yeah. No, let me. I want discourse. I want you to talk to me. So that's great. But yeah, I think it comes from a place, or this verse comes from a place where pride in this world, I think specifically for me in this generation, is so rampant because we're all just like, the world is just selfish, bro. Like it's like
yeah.
it's only we only think about ourselves. We only think about what we want. We only think about like what matters to me. And like you see it
It's
in
true.
other people's character and like how they how they present themselves.
Or
And
treat
like
other people or
and treat other people, and like the act, like talking about like the actions that they decide to do on a daily basis. And like this verse is kind of like showing like you can like this is like a verse where like you can tell the difference between somebody who is humble and who's prideful, and you can tell by their actions, and you can tell by the choices that they make. You can tell a person is humble versus a person who only cares about themselves.
yeah.
It's two very different things, and it's very noticeable. And that's kind of where the Holy Spirit helps us to discern those different entities in that way. But also that's just true wisdom. True wisdom comes from from finding that humility in doing all these things instead of finding everything in yourself. Like I think it's like a person, for me, I'd say a person who does not care, like literally, like for to bring like a football aspect into this because it's an NFL podcast. Um, a player that cares more about the team than himself, that's a humble person. A player that cares more about the team than stats is a humble person. A person that
Taking a
cares,
pay cut so they can build a better
yeah, take
roster.
exactly, or a player that doesn't care much about the accolades, but the fact that they had a really good season this year. That's a humble person.
Yeah, the team.
So
Yeah,
it's
the
like
team. Yeah.
you like, and me and Jake have heard there's plenty of athletes outside of football, basketball, soccer, baseball, all those you can tell a person that's humble in the sports industry that a person who is prideful. It's very, very obvious. So
Yeah, they usually let you know about it.
exactly, very much so. Um, so I think this verse is a great reminder. It's basically, for me, it's to discern the people who you're around. That's the basis to me. Is like it's kind of like you are the people you hang around with. Like you are the company you keep.
Mm.
It's basically what it is. So it's kind of like if you're best friends with somebody who only cares about themselves, that's now your personality and how people will see you
Yeah,
as a
you're
person who
gonna
only cares about themselves
adopt
based
that type
on
of
based on
thinking.
that. Now obviously, to bring the Christian aspect into it, because I don't want this to seem like we're not using the Bible in this, but I think God wants us to be people that want to help people, who are caring, who are considerate, understanding, who use their story or their testimony in a humble way to bring people to the gospel. Because also there is worldly pride, there's also Christianity pride as well. And I know
Mhm.
that's one that's like not very talked about. Like, and I don't mean the pride is like the worldly pride, because that's different, but like they're kind of like, look what God has blessed me with. Look at these things. Look at the things I've like, all these different things. And not saying that God can't provide these things, because he can. He can, he's done it before. But like using the stuff that God blessed you with and turning that
Yeah.
into about yourself. That's prideful. And that's, we as a Christian culture and as a community, we can't
Gotta
let
be better.
the things
Be
that God has
better.
blessed us with be used in a way to hype ourselves up, because at the end of the day, it's not about us. It's not about us. It's never been about us. It's about God. God gets the glory, not us. Do we love getting accolades? Do we love getting certificates? Do we love getting these things? Do we love getting those? Absolutely. I'm not saying things are not okay to have, but at the end of the day, understand that it's not I want to say this in a better way. The things that God gives you, remember to thank him and give the praise back to him and not to yourself. That was a better way of what I wanted to say. So, scene.
See, but yeah, I mean, I agree with everything that you said. I mean, I think that the more good works that we do, the more we like go out and help people, um show that we want to we want to be about other people more than we're about ourselves. Then I think the more people you'll the more you'll your or your I guess your character will develop. The more people you meet, the more people you talk to, um just the more just the more wisdom that you'll get, and that you'll I mean, I guess just how do I say this? Like, just to show that go out and show that you're just more about other people, not prideful, like you said, that you wanna that we care about others, not more than ourselves, but like, you know what I'm trying to say with that.
Like, there's a certain level of caring for people, but not to forget about yourself at the
Yeah,
same time.
like you wanna help, you wanna put others up before yourself, but obviously not like forget about
Not to the
yourself and stuff
extreme
like
point.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
But yeah.
And I think this verse is like one more thing, and then we'll cut it,
Very
because
good.
this has been a very long episode.
It is.
I'm getting very tired.
I
But
think
I
we're at
think
what, an
this,
hour and 55 minutes? Because
give or take, give or
we
take, this,
we're on for like 10 minutes without recording.
eh, yeah. Hey, if you're still with us at this point, thank you. Anyway, I
I don't know how
think
you did it, to be honest.
me neither. I
I get
think
tired
if
of myself.
you're I know that there's a lot of Christian influencers out there, and I know there's a lot of uh believers who have a lot of things that God has blessed them with, and they have podcasts, they have merch lines, they have different type of sponsorships and brands that they do, and not all those things are bad, none of them at all.
Yeah,
I pray to God we get a brand deal one day. That would be amazing.
I would love
But
that.
I think this is
Sponsorships.
one of those things where don't judge a Christian influencer based on the brands that they have. See what they're using it for. See where it's
Yeah,
going to. See where they're putting that money towards. Because I think if a Christian influencer is out there doing a podcast, don't make the podcast the end all be all. Obviously, the Bible should be your truth when it comes to like what you believe as a Christian. But I listen to a lot of Bryce Crawford's podcast from time to time and listen to what he's got to say. I think hearing from another believer, I don't think is a bad thing. And obviously, he's using that as his avenue to give back to the people who have been giving to him and what God has given him the ability to do. Same with like Dude Perfect. I mean, Dude Perfect, they be doing their stuff with like different sports brands and stuff like that. And they give back to different hospitals and um, different
Bible Thunder.
foundations, Make a Wish, all those different things. And you can see where that's coming from with them. They obviously make a lot of money doing what they do, but they
Yeah,
do give it back and they do show that they are others first. And so many other different people. There's so many others I could bring up, but like I don't want to hype them up like that. But like just see what they do with the stuff that they have, not the fact that they have all this money, because sometimes God just blesses people with the certain things that they have. But
Yeah.
I think the way that they're using it, I think we as Christians, we need to stop judging people for the money that they have and wish we had it. Instead, let's be happy that they're using what God has given them to
Yeah,
bless other people.
as long as they're using it for not selfish or like harmful reasons, but for
Yeah,
good
and
reason.
obviously if they are, that's a conversation for a different video. But yeah. Dude, what an episode. What a time we had talking about our teams and having fun and looking good while doing it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Always
um
look good. That's a
always
lie.
y'all better be tuning into the Hall of Fame game tomorrow. If not, I get it. I will be tuning in.
I'm watching it.
Just because I miss football, so I'm gonna be tuning in. But Jake, anything else before we call it a night tonight?
No, I don't think
All
so.
right.
Let's go.
Well, guys, thank
Bring
you.
on some football. That's
Yes,
what I
sir.
gotta
Let's bring
say.
on. There we go. Bring
Bring
on
it.
some football.
Ready.
Guys, thank you for tuning in to the Fourth Quarter Faith podcast. Please go and subscribe. We would love to have you guys join this community and join our family of football loving people who love the Lord as well. So subscribe so you guys can keep seeing our stuff. And also like Jake said in the beginning of the video, hit the notification bell so you guys see when all our new videos drop. Also, we do have social media. We have Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. So if you guys want to talk to us on there as well, go check those out. Remember that our episodes are not only on YouTube, they are on Spotify and Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, so that if you guys cannot watch our YouTube videos, you guys can listen to them on the go. Yeah, we're excited that the new season is almost upon us. And until next time, that's Jake Alagna. I'm Jesse Shalalo. Have a good night, guys.